Hey guys, it's Rania, and today I'm going to show you guys a tour of my Notion setup and have a mini tutorial of how I kind of set mine up. If you guys don't know what Notion is, it's basically this application that was designed to help improve productivity and organization, and I just found out about it in the beginning of this year, and I want to kind of invest my time into it to see if it'll help me. But yeah, let me show you guys my Notion. So this is my Notion homepage. As you can see, I just have this cover and I just put Rania's Notion, a little thing of me talking to myself. I have an audio clip here of Good Days by SZA just because I thought it was a cute song that I could listen to over and over again. Then I just have some pictures of myself and I have a link to all of the pages that I have. Then I have a link to my playlist, one of my YouTube videos, a random quote, and a picture. This page is basically like the table of contents of my Notion. I definitely could have the page end here, but I just thought it would be awkward if I had it end there. I'm gonna go over how I put in this audio clip. So first you're going to want to have an MP3 clip. I think you need to have it under 5 megabytes. If you guys didn't know how to download an MP3 clip, YouTube to MP3. I use this link and I just copy and paste like the URL and we'll convert it into an MP3, and then you can just backslash audio and choose a file. I don't have a file right now, but yeah, it's pretty simple. Then I just put some pictures of myself. Then I just have links to these pages. So if you guys are wondering how I link to some pages that I already have, just have backslash and then you type in link. So if I wanted to link to a page, let's just say I want to link to this page, you just have it like that, and then you can rearrange them. And you can link a text to any link technically, but the way that I did it for here is that I backslash and then call out. And if I was gonna put like another playlist, you could just type out whatever you wanted to display, then highlight the text and click link, and you just copy and paste the link to your playlist and paste it here and then link it to there. So if I click on it, it takes me to the playlist. For my YouTube video, I backslash video actually, and I just copied and paste the video link. The next page I have is faith. So this one's kind of personal, but it's just like a religious thing where I like to keep track of different books and kind of chapters. So the next one I have is academics. Here I have 2 links. The first one is to a Canvas page. The second one is to my portal. Oh, hey Farah. Here I have another quote, but instead of a call out, this is actually a code block. You backslash code, and if you had a code in Java, then you could definitely keep track of it in Notion, but a lot of people just use this function for aesthetic purposes. So if I just wrote like love yourself or something, I don't think you can change fonts in Notion except for here. You can change it so the whole page is one font, but it's hard to change like a specific section to one font. You can change the color. I have links to different pages for each semester. And then I have some pictures from like a Studio Ghibli movie. And then I have an inline table with different academic resources. There are different ways to like organize your data. There's tables, you have a calendar, a board, a gallery, a list, and you can see how it says the same thing but full page. So if I were to put full page, like for a list, for example, the whole page would be a list. So I wouldn't be able to add any other blocks. But I use inline lists or just inline anything, so I can kind of have more than one list on one page. You can kind of organize each column to be a specific thing. So the first one I have title, category, like what would I use this resource for. If I click on it, I have it as a multi-select property, which means that you can select different tags, I guess, for whatever. Then I have this as a text, and then I just as a text I just like highlighted it and linked that text to the resource. Then I just have another column for different thoughts and comments. I can show you guys this. This is basically a YouTube video that I linked. So one of my favorite YouTubers right now is Eli Abdal, and he talks a lot about productivity and just studying, all that type of stuff. To link his video like the way I did here, I did / call out, and I just changed the emoji to whatever I want. I just type out anything, then you would just link, get the URL of whatever you're trying to link, and paste it and link it. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I set up the pages for each of my semesters. So I'm going to show you guys the one that I made, kind of like the template I made for the fall semester of this year. Let's try and recreate this. So first I have headings here. So if I were to do that, I would just do a heading. I think that's 2. Oh, actually I think that might be the first heading, which is the biggest one. So if you were to write like Monday, then you can see that I have an emoji next to it. So right here I would / emoji and just put anything. So let's just do the orange. I've just highlighted it so it would have like a background. And then you could duplicate it multiple times, so then you can change it. And as you can see there, I made it so they're all next to each other. And if you can just like duplicate or write it out. You want to drag it all the way to the right, so they look like that. For my schedule of that day, I put it as a code block, and I dragged it next to that one and did it again. You can see how they're all just next to each other. If you guys notice here, I have a divider, is what they call it. So you can / divider, and you can just drag it right there. So you would just do the same thing again and put it next to each other like that. Then here I just have a quote, an inline board. If you were to create a board that was inline, you could type board and then inline. Okay, so here I have my classes. At first, I just had this idea that I would just have like titles of my classes here just to keep track, but I was thinking that it might be helpful to create each one of these into a page, so on that page you can have like the syllabus and just keep track of that. So if you wanted to turn this call out block into a page, you just highlight this, click the 3 dots, and you could click turn into page. I would add it as a subpage. Ooh. And when you click on that, you have a new page. When I create a new page, first I always add a cover. So let's just change it to a random picture. I really love this painting by Edgar Degas. And then I like to change the format of this page to a full width, just so I maximize the space on my screen. And I changed the font. I wanted to create like an image. Let's just like choose some random ones. So you can resize it here. I want to add another image. So if I want them to be next to each other, I would just drag this one, put it. There's this bar that pops up on the left side, and you can kind of drag it back and forth. I still don't really know how to do this like perfectly. I kind of just mess around with it and figure this out. Okay, there. So I put that picture there, and a bar should pop up on the left side of this picture. You can drag it and drag this, so they're next to each other, and resize this picture. Depending on the dimensions of your picture, it's not gonna be perfect, but so if I wanted to add a like syllabus, you would / file, and you can just upload the syllabus here. If you wanted to do the inline board, you could just do the major assignments again. So the next page I have is reading. This actually is probably my favorite page. It's not like set up in a really difficult way, but I just like keeping track of all my readings and books. So the first list that I have, these are all inline lists, by the way. They all, basically this whole page is list. But here I just have a quote. So here I would just add / quotes and just like write whatever. You could change the formatting, or a table. Is this a list or a table? I'm pretty sure it's a list, but it's just of all the books and readings that I am trying to keep track of. In the first column, I just have titles of all the books that I'm trying to keep track of. The next, I have author, and each column has like a property. So this one is a text, and I just write the name of the author. The third one I have is status, and I have this as select. So I select from a list of options, like here. Then next I have select again, and I have it as like numbers for like 1 to 5, like what I would rate the book. The next one I just have the property as a date, and I just have like date started, date finished. Then I have multi-select again, even though this probably should be select, and basically just choosing the format of the book. Then the next one I have is multi-select genre. The next one is multi-select again, but I just have more specific tags. The next one I have it as files and media, so I have a cover of my book that I read. And the last one is just comments and thoughts, but I just have the same thing here, except I have this property as a checkbox so I can keep track of like if I bought it or not. Here I just have some call out blocks with some different quotes, and a quote by Toni Morrison. And this isn't reading, but I have a list of podcasts that I want to keep track of. The next page here is thoughts and plans. Kind of random, but here I just have a wish list of different stuff. I have a code block quote situation. Then I have an inline board of just some 2021 New Year's resolutions. There's nothing really in these, but I just put the picture so it would appear like more aesthetically pleasing. Then I just have links to pages here that are probably empty. Then the next board is just some life tips. Next we have cooking. I just have some recipes. Let's see, I just have a picture, a link to where I actually got the recipe from, and I just typed out the ingredients and the directions. Obviously I could just click on the link, but I just thought it would be more aesthetic looking it on here. And then I just have a list of my favorite items from Trader Joe's. You can see like I just want to fill up the pages, so as I'm thinking of other ideas to put on this page, I just put this list on here. And the last one is just fashion and beauty. It kind of makes me look conceited, but I just have pictures of myself, inspiration, some pictures of Bella Hadid from Pinterest. And then I just have a list of some clothes and fashion things that I want, a skincare wish list, and just a beauty wish list. Oh, actually, I bought this yesterday, so I can mark it as purchase. And then just a list of stores. As you guys can tell, my Notion is definitely a work in progress. Yeah, I hope this video was able to introduce you to Notion. If you have any questions, I can try to answer them in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys soon. Maybe.